Hello and assalamu alaikum, everyone. A very warm welcome to the Audit and Assurance webinars to Success for June 2024 exams, and I am your tutor, Kashif Kamran. Let's start with the proceeding of this webinar to success. First of all, I would like to spell out the objective or the purpose of this webinar. As you know, the title of this webinar, which I'm doing for last many years, it's known as Webinars to Success. So the focal point of these webinars is basically success. And each time when I do the webinar, I try to do something different because you can find the previous webinar on the digital library on my YouTube channel, and I can share that link of that in my WhatsApp group. So over the 3 days, the focus will be how to get success in the AA paper. All of you know that AA is a challenging paper and has a low pass rate when you compare with other applied skill paper. So investigating the challenges and the underlying reasons for the low pass rate and why students in general struggle to pass the AA paper would be the focal point over the next 3 days. And we'll be investigating that in different dimensions. One can now hear me and everyone can see me as well, right? Okay, great. So just let's resume back. So we were discussing the overview of the webinar, that the purpose of this webinar is to ensure how to get success. We'll be looking at the challenges and the underlying reasons of the low pass rates in the AA paper, and we'll try to identify the different dimensions through which you can learn to succeed in the AA paper. In March 24, the AA pass rate stood at 44%, which was comparatively higher than the December 23 pass rates of 41%. So that's quite an optimism for all of you preparing for the June 24 exams, that the passing rates have become a bit better. So that means you need the right approach, you need the right techniques to pass the AA paper, and that's what I will be guiding you in this webinar today. So let's open up this webinar. Let's explore what is in store in this webinar over the next 3 days. I hope you all can see the PowerPoint presentation on your screen as well, right? Because there was some technical disturbance. So just need to reconfirm things before we proceed on with the webinar. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Okay, over the 3 days, what I have decided this time, just to keep this webinar different from my previous AA webinar, which is already on the YouTube channel, just let's see what is inside this webinar. On the day 1, I'll be discussing the approach to success, which will cover structure of the paper and the syllabus, because that's a quick glance without which we cannot proceed further. Self-evaluation as a student, right timetable for the time left to exams, right resources. What right resources should be on your study table, because we are living in an era of an information overload. Technical articles, which you should study at this point in time. Practice. Is it the quality of practice or is it the quantity of practice? Examiner reports and ACCA study hub and other useful resources will all come in discussion today. On the day 2, tomorrow, I'll be looking at techniques to success. What sort of techniques you can adopt to pass the AA paper? We'll look at techniques for section A, the OT questions. We'll look at techniques for the constructed response questions in section B, specifically around risk, internal controls, substantive procedures, etc. We'll be talking about practice with examiner reports tomorrow, case-specific answer, a well-developed point in the AA paper. Stop idealizing the examiner answer. We'll see what is the danger of idealizing the examiner answer and what can be challenges of that tomorrow. Time management and what should you do on the day of exam. This is all what you will get tomorrow on the day 2. Then on the day 3, the final day, It's about inspiration to success. And I will be taking on board some of my brilliant students from December 23 and March 24 double exams who have produced exceptional results, scoring 65 plus marks in the very first exam setting. And they will be talking to you, and you can ask them any questions, and they will be sharing their secret recipe of success in the first go in the AA paper. So this is what the webinar for success is for June 24 exams, looking at the approach on the day 1, techniques on the day 2, and the inspiration then on the day 3. So let's open the day 1 and let's look into the approach to success. So this is the day 1 now, and we're looking at the approach to success, which you should adopt from this point onwards. First of all, before we start looking into the approach, it's very important that we have a quick glance of the paper format and the syllabus. You're all very familiar that the AA paper consists of 2 sections, A and B. Section A consists of 30 marks, and it's divided into 3 OT cases, and each OT case has 5 OT questions. So in total, you have 15 OT questions, each worth 2 marks. Section A is very challenging because the OT question can come from anywhere in the syllabus, and you should be well prepared to take on the OT cues, because it's like expect the unexpected in the 30-mark section. So you should have a good grasp of the syllabus if you want to get good marks out of those 30. We'll be looking at the techniques to excel Section A tomorrow specifically. Section B consists of 70 marks, and one of the question is worth 30 marks and 2 of the questions are worth 20 each. Section B is very predictable, right? You know what comes in Section B. So Section B is the area of the paper where you can score very good marks, because you know which topics come in Section B. We'll be discussing that tomorrow, so I'm not going deep into it, because we have a technique for Section B tomorrow. We have techniques for Section A tomorrow, so we'll be spending more time on that. But all of you must be familiar that Section B is a very predictable part of the paper. You know which topic comes there, and you know if you've practiced five papers, 6 papers, you know there is very predictable trend of Section B, and you can really excel by scoring a lot of marks in Section B, even if you're scoring a bit less marks on Section A. So to me, if you do well in Section B, you can pass the AA paper, even if you're scoring less marks in the Section A of the paper. And we'll speak more of the techniques for A and B tomorrow. A quick glance at the syllabus. You know there are 5 syllabus areas for AA. We'll speak of more of that tomorrow, that which syllabus area is more important, and specific exam techniques for each syllabus area tomorrow. You know the 5 syllabus areas: A, audit framework and regulations, where you have more of those ethical principles and safeguards and corporate governance as major topics. Then you have the B syllabus areas, planning and risk assessment. You know, a typical question comes in Section B on audit risk and responses. Then you have C, internal controls. You know, internal controls is one of the favorite area of the examiner, asking you questions around key controls, direct controls, control weaknesses, test of controls. That is all sort of stuff you get from C. D is about audit evidence, where you get topics like procedures, and you know substantive procedures is a very major topic of your 100 marks paper. And finally is the completion and reporting stage, topics like subsequent events, going concern, and implication for the audit report. We'll speak more of these areas. We'll see how each area is examined in the past paper and what sort of techniques you can adopt in terms of excelling the AA paper for June. So stay tuned for day 2 tomorrow, where we will be investigating exam techniques for Section A, Section B, and the syllabus. Now let's move on from the quick glance of syllabus and the paper format. Let's go down into approach to success. Now, when I'm conducting this webinar, today is the 13th of May, 2024. So June 24 exams are just 21 days away, 3 weeks away. And we are sitting at a time and you are listening to me and I'm talking to you when the exams are just 3 weeks away. Now, my webinar is focusing on this point onwards. We're not looking into history. We're not looking into the past. We're looking into the next 21 days, how we should plan, approach, and prepare the next 21 days. And that's what is the agenda today. Self-evaluation. Where are you standing today? This is a question all of you should ask yourself now. Where are you standing today? Every one of you will be standing at a different stage of completion. Some must have done the knowledge part. They still need to do the past papers. Some might even have done the knowledge and the past papers. Some might not even have done the knowledge. They're still into knowledge because they are doing jobs and they have a lot of challenges. So every one of you will have a different answer to this question, self-evaluation, and identify the gaps to fill. What is remaining? So student A can have something different remaining. Student B can have something different remaining. Student C can have something different remaining. And you have to fill the gaps in how many time? You have to fill these gaps in 21 days you have. So will all of you do a self-evaluation in the next few hours? Where are you standing today in terms of your AA preparation after this webinar comes to an end? Will you self-evaluate yourself in terms of what is still remaining to be done? And how will you fit that within the next 21 days if you want to excel in the upcoming AA exams? So the first approach is to self-evaluate. Next, after you have self-evaluated yourself and you know what is to be done, you should immediately put a timetable to fit the next 21 days. What will you be doing over the next 21 days? How much time will you be giving over the next 21 days? Are you doing job? Are you doing multiple papers for June 24? Are you repeating the AA paper? Is this your single paper for June? Lots of things needs to go in before you decide upon that what should I be doing for the next 21 days and what sort of a timetable. Looking at my challenges, looking at my obstacles, every one of us have challenges, right? So looking at our challenges, what is the best timetable we can put in for the next 21 days? So that's the approach, right? Be organized. There is an information overload. We are living in an era of an information overload. I've seen so many students sharing so many resources about AA in the WhatsApp group and over the social media, and student gets distracted with it. You might be studying the study hub and someone shared the resource of a tutor, and you say, oh, should I study from the study hub or from the tutor resource? You get confused. You might be studying the Kaplan book and someone shared the BPP book with you and you get confused. Should I follow the BPP or Kaplan? There is so much information overload in the era we are living in. Deciding upon what's the right resource which should be on your study table for the next 21 days is very important. I hope you all agree with me on this point. I hope you are a victim of this information overload. Yes or no? If you can just give me quick answers. Are you a victim of this information overload? Are you in a state of confusion? What resource to study in? That's great. Thank you. Thank you for the agreement. And will all of you be doing a self-evaluation today where you are standing in terms of your preparation so that you can make a launching pad for the next 21 days? You can decide upon what is to be done for the next 21 days. And I'll be sharing an example shortly of the next 21 days. And after you do your self-evaluation, you can use my timetable. Let's find the timetable. Study planner for 21 days. Now, just before the start of the webinar today, I was doing a careful planning that what should be an ideal study planner for 21 days. A lot of example came to my mind. Then I removed them. then I put the new ones, and finally, just like an hour ago, I finalized my study planner for 21 days. And I thought this is the most important one, which should get to the students for this June 24 webinar. Let's find the study planner for 21 days. This is what the study planner should look like. We have a week 1 starting from tomorrow, 14th of May to the 20th of May. Then we have a week 2 starting from 21st to 27th of May. And then we have a week 3 from the 28th of May to the 2nd of June. You have paper on 3rd. 3 weeks. What should come in the week 1? What should come in the week 2? What should come in the week 3? This is you to decide. I can give you the outlines. You need to do the tick marks. You need to do the tick marks. Tick marks have to be done by you, not me. I can only give you an outline. You know your challenges. You know where are you standing today. And you can realistically fill this timetable in front of your screen. Number 1, fill the gaps. Number 1, all of you are different in fill the gaps, right? Each one of you will have different gaps to fill. True or false? Quick answers. Will every student have a different fill the gaps once you do the self-evaluation, right? So identify the gaps, try to fill them over the next 3 weeks. Number 2, reading technical articles. That's the right resource. Which technical articles? How many? I'm just coming to that. So reading technical articles, we see how many technical articles are there, and then we'll bifurcate them over the 21 days we have, right? Read latest examiner reports. How many? We'll see how many, and then we'll classify under week 1, week 2, and week 3. I'll tell you how many to read and which one. Practice recent exam for the constructed response question. How many recent exams I need to practice? I'll tell you the number, and then we'll divide those number in 3 weeks. Practice OTQs. How many OTQs should we practice and from where? We'll see the number of OTQs, and we'll divide those OTQs over week 1, week 2, and week 3. And finally, do the ACCA June 24 mock. And we are pretty sure that the mock paper is to be done in the week 3. No one should do the mock paper in week 1 and week 2. You should ideally do mock 3 days before your exam, 2 to 3 days before your exam. Once you are done with everything, and you know I have the best preparations for F8, that is the time you should do the mock exam, which is already available on the practice platform since 13th of May, today. I think today it was uploaded. So do all of you agree that the mock exam should be ticked in the week 3? Is that clear? And we need to do the rest of the tickings over the course of the next 60 minutes, right? Fill the gaps. Everyone needs to find the gaps and then fill over the week 1, week 2, and week 3. So should we investigate the technical articles, examiner reports, recent exam papers, OTQs? Should we start rolling that? Is everyone clear with this timetable? And is everyone sure when to do the mock exam? Okay, will this timetable be beneficial for you once it gets filled up over the next 60 minutes? And you can deviate from it according to your own challenges and what you have already done. Let's unfold every element of the timetable. Let's first get to reading the technical articles. Information overload. Key resources to focus on. And I've already given you the key resources, right? Fill the gaps, technical articles, recent past papers, OTQs, examiner reports, and mock exams. 6 resources on your study table. So we are living in an information overload time. What resources should I focus on? There are 6 in front of your screen. Number 1, ACCA Study Hub, flashcards, and practice. I'll show you them. Number 2, technical articles. Which one? Number 3, examiner reports. Which one? Number 4, past papers. Which one? Number 5, OTQs. How many? Number 6, mock exam in the last week of your exam, before your exam sitting, 3 days before the exam. So these are 6 resources which you should have on your study table. If you are studying through the Kaplan book or you're studying through the BVB book, you should not switch to Study Hub now. If you are studying from ACCA Study Hub, you should not switch to any other resources now. This is not the time for switching. Whichever methodology you have adopted, stick to it. But yes, for certain things, I would emphasize the need to do the ACCA Study Hub. And I'll tell you that. I'm not saying do the Study Hub for knowledge. No, I'm saying do the Study Hub for flashcards and practice. I'm not saying knowledge to come from Study Hub. Flashcard is just a summary. I downloaded the flashcards for AA today. I just took a printout of the flashcards and it was just like 6 pages of PDF. 6 pages of PDF is giving you a holistic summary of the key things you have in the AA paper. And I'll show you how you can do it. So the first thing is ACCA Study Hub. Just let me guide you that. You go to, I hope you can see the ACCA Study Hub in front of your screen now, everyone. Please confirm it. Is this the same window you get in your ACCA Study Hub? Because it could be the tutor Study Hub and the student Study Hub looks a bit different. Is this exactly the same? Okay, good. Okay. On the left-hand side, on the left panel, can you see there is an element over here known as quizzes and flashcards and practice? So you click on the flashcards and you get the flashcards. Now, can you see the flashcards here? 107. 107 flashcards. You click on them and you move on. Second flashcard, third flashcard. You click on professional skepticism, they will tell you the meaning of it. See, what is professional skepticism? You move on. Assurance, you click on it, they will tell you what is assurance engagement. But can you see they've given you a list over here? Flashcard study, flashcard list. See, this is the list of the flashcards. Can you see there is a print button, all of you? Can you see there is a print button with the flashcard list on the screen? You can press the print button and you can take a print out of this as PDF. A total of 6 pages, I guess. And that's the total flashcards you have. 6 pages. You can hardly do it under 3 to 4 days. So is everyone clear with how to take a printout of the flashcards if you were unfamiliar and if you were not using the ACCA Study Hub? So you go to the flashcards, you click on the list, and after clicking on the list, you press the print button and you take the printout. Is that clear to all of you? Okay, great. Now move on. Quizzes. Can you see the quizzes in front of you now? The quizzes. And how many quizzes has ACCA given you? Quiz number 1, and you go down and 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 down, 31. Can you see the last quiz they've given you? 31. Every quiz has how many questions? 5. So 31 multiplied by 5 is how much? 155, right? If I'm not wrong. 155, right? So how many questions you have? 155 questions. You open every quiz. For example, you open the quiz number 1 and you start the quiz. See, they've given you a question, A, B, C, D. Take the right answer. Then you go to the next question, A, B, C, D. Take the right answer. Now, if you do these 155 questions, which are given under the quizzes, will that help you revise the whole syllabus? Will that help you revise the OTQs? So are quizzes beneficial? Will you do these 155 questions given under quizzes of Study Hub, even though you were not using Study Hub by now? Will you do this as a sake of revising the whole syllabus as well as ticking the right options as a support to your OTQs? Yes, every chapter has every chapter has 5 questions, right? Not 5 quizzes. Every chapter has 5 questions, right? Just look at this. Chapter 1 quiz, 5 questions. You can see this here, right? Chapter 1 quiz, 5 questions. So every chapter has 5 questions, not 5 quizzes. And that in total means you have 155 questions under the quizzes. Those who have already done it, my first thing, Daniel, was what? Self-evaluate where you are standing today. So if I'm telling you something and you've already done it, that should be deleted from your timetable, right? But if anyone has not done it, that will come into the timetable, right? So you need to self-evaluate yourself, Daniel. I hope you're clear with that, Daniel. Moving on to the next one. Can you see a practice section here on the ACCA Study Hub? Practice. I've just clicked on practice. Under the practice, can you see they've given you the OT revision case, chapter 1, OT revision case, chapter 2, OT revision case, chapter 3. So by chapter, they've given you the OT questions. Some have 10, some has 5. Can you see that on your screen? OT revision cases, chapter 1, OT revision case, chapter 2, and it goes down. OT revision case, chapter 12, chapter 13, OT revision case, chapter 20, 22 to 27, and OT revision case 31, going concern. That's the last chapter. OT revision case 31, going concern. After that, you have constructed response questions. OT questions. I'm more concerned with OT, not constructed response. So how many chapters, OT questions you have? 31 chapters. Some have 5 and some have 10 OT questions. Now I calculated that it becomes a total of 160. 160 OT questions under practice. 155 OT questions under quizzes. Plus them, 160 and 150 is how much? 310 and plus 5, 315. A total of 315 OT questions. Imagine. We have 160 questions under practice. We have 155 questions under quizzes. Is everyone clear with this number? Quizzes and practice. Is everyone clear? So will you do quizzes? 155 questions under quizzes. Will you do 160 questions under OTQ practice, which is in front of your screen? So will this give you a fair amount of OT question practice? Right? So will you be using the ACCA Study Hub for the flashcards? Take a printout, just of 6 pages. Then will you use the Study Hub for the quizzes? And then will you use the Study Hub for practice? Practice of OT questions only, right? Practice of OT questions only, not of the constructed response. I'll tell you what you need to do for the constructed response, right? But for the OT questions, you will do only the Study Hub. Okay, now go back. Now is everyone clear with ACCA Study Hub flashcards and practice? Practice includes the quizzes and practice includes the practice itself. And you know the number. Quizzes, you have 155 questions, and in practice, you have 160 OTQs, right? That's what you're doing. Umar, you can watch on the recording, and you can see how to print it out, right? Okay, the next thing is the technical articles, right? So we've done the ACCA Study Hub. I've shown you the ACCA Study Hub. I've shown you the flashcards. I've shown you the practice. I've shown you how much amount of OTQs are there under the practice. And I've shown you the quizzes and how much amount of OTQs you have under the quizzes, right? Now we're moving from the next part, which is technical articles. There are a total of 15 technical articles on the AA website. which are not much, even if you have not read any yet, you can still read all of them in the time left. One article a day, and you're done with the 15 articles in 15 days. You have 21 days to exam. Not a difficult task. I would recommend you to do the 14 of the 15 articles. So I'm deducting one article from the list, and I'm saying you should do 14 over the span of 21 days. You have 21 days. So one a day, you will be completed with all in just a 2 weeks time. So if you're making a timetable, I'll just show you the list of the articles which you should do. If I'm making my timetable, can I fit 7 technical articles in week 1? And can I fit 7 technical articles in week 2? Can I do this, all of you, before I show you the 14 articles to read? Okay, I hope you all can see me back on the screen. We were discussing just one second. We were discussing the technical articles, and I was telling you that there are a total of 15 technical articles, of which I have deleted one, and you will ideally be doing 14 of them. I'll just show you the list of the 14 to do, but that means 14 articles, and if I'm taking my timetable, I can fit 7 articles in the week 1. I can fit 7 articles in the week 1. I can fit 7 articles in the week 2, right? So I will be done with my 14 articles by the time of 27th May, right? Let's go down and look at the list of the 14 articles we have. Now, when you go to the AA website, I hope you know where the technical articles are. If I can just show you that as well. Just give me one second. If I can show you the technical articles. I hope you can see on your screen the technical article webpage. Technical articles on your screen now, where they are available on the website of ACCA. Can you all see the technical articles in front of your screen, please? Okay, great. Now, there are total of 15 articles here. I'm not talking about the topic explainer video, because under some articles, you will see a video. We are not counting the videos. We're only counting the PDF document, which is the article, right? So there are total of 15 articles, of which one has been deducted. Now let me show you the list of the articles. This is the list of the articles in front of your screen. This is a total of 14. This is exactly the titles I've taken from the website. Laws and regulations. In the bracket, you can see K or C. K stands for knowledge. C stands for case. Certain articles are valid for knowledge only, and certain articles are valid for case-specific questions even. So K and C will guide you whether this is a knowledge-focused topic or can help you with a case study. So you can see a list of 14 articles in front of your screen. I'm not repeating the titles. I hope you can see that. This presentation will be shared with all of you, so you know which articles to read, and you can make a summary of doing 7 under every week. So you start from laws and regulation, and you reach audit in a computer-based environment. This all should be done in the week number 1, starting from tomorrow. And then audit of assertion up to analytical procedures, you can do this under week number 2. Is that clear? 7 in the week 1, 7 in the week 2. Please ensure you follow the K and C. K means the knowledge. C means case-specific questions. So from certain areas, case-specific questions are developed in section B. Certain topics help you with OTQs. Is that clear, all of you? So please ensure you go over this list of 14. I did skip one because that was not very relevant, and that was quite an old article, which has no relevance currently in the AA paper, Arusa. Okay, just let's go back what we were looking for. So we got technical articles, we got ACCA Study Hub. let's look at the third most important thing to look for. Examiner reports. I'll be exploring examiner reports tomorrow in my session 2, but I would just like to recommend that how important is it to read examiner reports and how valuable this resource is. And a lot of time, the student don't emphasize on examiner reports. Honestly, tell me, your exams are 21 days away. How many examiner reports have you studied so far? Honestly, tell me. I'm looking at your answers quickly. How many examiner reports have you done so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, or 0? Okay. Okay. So there are only 2 students telling me they've done 2 examiner reports, but majority of the students are saying none. That is exactly what I was looking for. Students will do everything, but they will not do the examiner report, which is the most important thing if they want to get success in the AA paper, whether you're doing the first exam sitting or you are repeating the AA paper. Let me show you what examiner reports can do to your success. And on the day 2 tomorrow, I'll be guiding you more specifically how you can use them in your success. Examiner reports. There are total of 6 examiner reports on ACCA website. I'll just show you the link of that. Only 6, and you have 21 days remaining. Even if you read 1 a day, you're done it under 6. 6 only, right? Only 6. Reading all of them for section A, because you get 5 OT questions in each. So you can do valuable 30 OTQs from here. Every examiner report contains 5 OT questions from the past paper. So 6 examiner report and every of them has 5 OT questions. 6 multiplied by 5 is 30 OT questions. You are missing upon them. That is the one benefit of an examiner report in AA. So you already have like 300 and probably 315 OT questions on Study Hub. That's what we accumulated to, right? Add another 30. It's going up to 345. Now, did we got to 315 as a number, everyone? 315 OT questions on the Study Hub, right? Was that the number? Okay, add another 30 to that. So that becomes 345. But how many of you have done these 30 OTQs till now? How many? How many of you have touched upon these 30 OTQs you have in 6 examiner reports? Anyone has done them? Yes or no? Okay, that's great. That's exactly what I was looking for, a clear no from everyone. Now, see, you're missing on this as a resource. Just let me show you this. If I take you back to the web page, I hope you can see in front of your screen the examiner reports for AA. Please confirm that. Can you see the examiner reports in front of your screens as a web page? Thank you. You go down. Can you see there are 6 examiner reports in front of your screen? Can you count? There are 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? So you have to do the 6 because every one contains 5 OT questions. Let me show you a glimpse. I'll open the September-December 23 one. Okay. Can you now see the September-December 23 examiner report in front of your screen now? All of you? Okay, great. You go down and you click on section A. This is all interlinked, right? So you click on section A and you come to section A. And you go down the section A. See, we've given you a scenario. They've given you a scenario for section A, just like you get an OT case in exam paper. And under this section A, they've given you questions. See, this is the question number 1. This is, sorry, the scenario. This is the question number 1. You need to take the right answer. This is the question number 2. They also give you the right answer and the reason of the right answer, right? That's the best thing you can learn. Question number 2, then they give you the correct answer and they tell you why. So you can learn from them. Question number 3, you need to take the right answer. They're giving you what is the right answer and the reason for that. So please ensure that every examiner report contains 5 OT questions I hope a lot of you would have got this message for the first time. How many of you got to know that examiner reports do contain 5 OT questions in each report? How many of you got this message for the first time? Okay, great. So was that an important information? Was that something important you were missing in terms of your OTQ preparation? Great. Now, is examiner reports only for OTQs? Is only for 30 OTQs? No. Let's find what's more important in examiner reports. Beside this, read 2 full examiner reports for 2023 exams. You have to do the 6 examiner reports for the OTQs, but you have to do the 2 full examiner reports, means everything in the examiner report, A to Z, of 2023 exams. That is, I think, December 23 and June 23. As this will give you the constructive input, you need to pass the paper in Excel. I'll show you that tomorrow, that when you read the examiner report will tell you weak students. Examiner report will tell you strong student. Examiner report will also give you an advice for the future exams. So you can learn a lot from what weak students do. You can learn a lot from what a stronger student do. You can learn a lot from the advices of the examiner. How can you use the weak student and the strong student and the advices in terms of your success in the June 24 exam? This is what I need to translate tomorrow. But will you make a habit of reading the 2 latest examiner reports to find out the constructive criticism of the examiner, which you should avoid to pass in the June 24 exams, all of you? So how many examiner reports are you doing for OTQs? Quick answers, 6. And how many examiner reports are you doing for a constructive input analysis? 2. Great. But are you spending time on examiner reports? So will you fill the timetable for the next 21 days with examiner reports? You can do 3 examiner reports in week 1. You can do 3 examiner reports in week 2, and you're done. And you can keep one latest examiner report in week 1, one latest examiner report in week 2 for the constructive input analysis. Next, after examiner reports, past papers. To me, as a tutor, I always believe on quality, not quantity. Students run after quantity. They run after revision kits. We've done it. I don't find any value because you're preparing for 2024 exams and you have to do very recent papers. If you're not doing the recent papers, you're not developing the right rigor or right definition you need to pass the June 24 exams. Now, where will you get the latest papers and how many latest papers you are looking for? Because my advice is to look at the quality, not the quantity, in the next 21 days. Now, there are total 10 papers on ACCA practice platform, including the June 24 mock. And this is what you should aim at to excel. So the 10 papers includes the mock. If you look at the breakdown of the 10 papers on ACCA practice platform, the 10 papers breakdown is this. 6 past papers from 21, 22, and 23. They only contain the section B. So these past papers here only contains the section B, not section A. So you cannot practice any OT questions from them. Then you have 2 practice exams. The 2 practice exams includes the OT cases. So you can get the 15 OT questions from here. We already had 345, another 15 from here, rather another 30 from here because we have 2. So another 30 OT questions from here. Apart from that, you get the section B in the practice exams as well. So practice exams have the section A and the section B. Then you have 1 specimen exam. 1 specimen exam also includes the OT questions. So you have another 15 OT questions from here. Apart from that, you have a section B as well. And then you have a mock exam. The mock exam has a 15 OT questions as well. And then you have a section B. So you have 6 section B's, 6 papers here for section B. 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. So 10 papers, that means you have 10 section Bs. How many questions we have in section B? Tell me. How many questions we have in section B? 3. So how many papers we have? 10. 10 multiplied by 3. How many questions will we have to practice for CR? We have 10 papers and every paper has section B, 3 questions. So that's 30 questions, which CR questions, right? 30 constructed response question. 21 days, 30 questions. Is that the quality you're looking for? Definitely. This is quality. This is quality. Rather than running after Kaplan revision kit or BPP revision kit, do the 30 constructed response question and you will get something like that in your June 24 exams. Because you know there is so much repetition in section B of the AA paper. And how many OTQs are we adding? 15 and 15, 30 and 30, 60. Are we adding another 60 OTQs? How many we had already? 345, I guess. By now, do everyone remember how we accumulated 345? Add another 60. 405. Already 405 OTQs. You can spread them over 3 weeks. Now tell me, students ask me where to study OTQs, where to practice OTQs. You have resources for OTQs. You have ACCA Study Hub having most of the OTQs. You have examiner reports having OTQs, and you have your practice exams. You have your specimen exam, and you have your mock exam having OTQs. So will all of you go to the ACCA practice platform and do these 10 papers, 6 past papers, only with section B, 2 practice exams with section A and section B, 1 specimen exam with section A and section B, and 1 mock exam with section A and section B. I hope I need not to show you the practice platform. You're all very familiar of that, and you know where to find the papers with, right? Okay, then let's move on away from the past papers. OTQs. This is what I was telling you since the start of the session today. Just one correction. I told you that there are 160 OTQs on the practice side, and under quizzes, the number was wrong. It was 155. So please make it 155, and the total will get to 405. Now, this is what I told you just now. I just made a table for that. When you go to the ACCA Study Hub and you go to the practice, under practice, they have given you the OT cases for 31 chapters, which accumulate to 160 OT questions, right? Then you have quizzes. Under quizzes, they've given you 31 chapters, and every chapter has five questions. So that's 155 OT questions. Then the practice exam 1 on the ACCA practice platform has 15. The practice exam 2 has 15. The specimen exam has 15. The mock exam has 15. 60. Then the examiner reports, the 6 examiner reports, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Each examiner report has 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Total of 405. 405 OT questions. Divide them by 3 quickly. Divide them by 3. 405, divide them by 3. Tell me what's the answer. 135. Great. So how many OTQs you need to do every week from tomorrow? 135, right? 135, 135, 135. Practice recent exams. How many recent exams we had? 10. So you can divide the 10, 4, 7, and 3. You already have a mock exam here. So mock exam is here. So that will become 2. 2 and 1 is the mock exam. Read latest examiner reports. You can fill that up. So I hope you're finding you can fit in this timetable effectively over the span of the time you have, all of you. So we were discussing the importance of the OTQs. So is this sufficient amount of OTQs? Now tell me, which source of OTQ in front of your table is the first time you got to know about it? Tell me from this table. In this table, which is the source you were unaware of as a source for OT questions? You can see the blue, the green, and the pink. The blue is the study hub. The green is the past papers. The pink is the examiner report. Okay, examiner reports, you were unaware of that. Nazuza, thank you. Which other students, please? Which source were you unaware of out of the 405 OT questions? Waiting for your answers, please. Examiner reports. Okay, thank you, Thompson. Maria, thank you so much. Daniel, okay, thank you. Okay, Reshma, thank you so much. Umar, thank you so much. Okay, great. So I hope this will help you with your OT question practice, will help you excel the upcoming exams in terms of Section A. Because if you do 405, there's quite a good chance that you might get some of them as repetitive in the upcoming exams, particularly the ones on the ACCA study hub are very, very important. Okay, the last thing, the mock exam. Do the mock exam at least 3 to 4 days before the actual exam under the timed conditions. Will be telling you the time management tomorrow. So under the timed condition, you will do the mock exam. The mock exam is your real challenge. You will do it as if you're doing your real June 24 exams, and you will try to do it under the exam conditions. You will try to simulate a real exam environment at home. You will set the timer and you will do the exam paper within the time and see where you reach. And then you can self-evaluate your mock paper with my tutor debrief, which can be only available to the students who are under my paid courses, or else you can get hold of ACCA tutor debrief, which can be available over the YouTube channel of ACCA. Yes, Thompson, that's the first thing I mentioned at the start of the session. You need to self-evaluate yourself in terms of challenges. Every one of us has 21 days remaining for exams, and everyone knows the challenges. Like, you are doing job, you're a full-time employee, you know where I get time, how I get time, and you're looking at the things. You're looking at number of technical articles, you're looking at a mock exam, you're looking at 405 OT questions, you're looking at 10 practice exams, blah, blah, blah. Now you want to see what can I do out of this in 21 days? Can I do all the 405 OT questions, or I can just do like 200, 250? So you need to find what is best for you, because that was the first thing I guided you today. Self-evaluate yourself and try to see what you can fit within 21 days in terms of your constraints and challenges. I hope you're clear on that, Thompson. Yes, Umar, if you are my registered student and you do the mock exam before 3 to 4 days before and you email me, I will definitely be responding you with my feedback. Thank you. So was the day one beneficial to all of you in terms of identifying the right study approach, which you should all be taking over the course of the next 21 days? Did you got some learning out of this approach-based session? So will you try to self-evaluate yourself right after the webinar comes to the end? Will you start making a timetable right after the webinar comes to an end? Will you look at these 6 important things on your screen: the summary of the flashcards, the practice on the ACCA Study Hub, the 14 technical articles, 6 examiner reports for 30 OT questions, 2 examiner reports for a constructive analysis of the weaknesses of the student, 10 past papers, including the mock, OT questions, 405 OT questions, and then the mock exam. Yes, the PDF of the presentation will be available. The recordings will be available too. So don't worry about it. It will all be shared under the next couple of hours after this webinar comes to the end. I hope you will be joining me tomorrow because we have a definite agenda which is connected with the day one agenda today. And the focus of tomorrow will be looking at the techniques to success, particularly the time management, techniques for section A and section B, looking more into the examiner reports tomorrow as to how you can learn something out of the examiner report and what is so very bad when it comes to idealizing the examiner answer, how to write a case specific answer and how to write a well-developed point to impress the marker in the AA paper. This is all what is in store for the day two tomorrow, which is techniques to success. Thank you so much, all of you, for taking your time out and joining it. Really sorry for some technical disruptions between the session today. But once the recording is uploaded, it will be free of those disruptions, so you can join it. I'm just sharing the WhatsApp group link. I think I've shared the WhatsApp group link. Can that be shared by anyone again? Can anyone just copy and share the WhatsApp group link in the chat box for the benefit of others? Please, any student who got the WhatsApp group link, which I shared at the start of the session, can you just share it back, copy paste it in the chat box so everyone can benefit from that WhatsApp group and can be part of it for the recordings. It will be uploaded on my YouTube channel as well. I'm just putting the name of my channel, which is youtube.com/Kashif Kamran. Thank you so much, Usman Khan, for sharing that WhatsApp group link. I hope you can all join that WhatsApp group, which Usman Khan has just shared, and you can follow my YouTube channel for the recordings. Okay, thank you all of you. Wish you all the very best of luck, and I'll see you back tomorrow with the day two of the AA June 24 webinar. Your tutor Kashif Kamran signing off from the day one. Goodbye, take care, and Allah Hafiz.